what if I told you that there was a way to improve your credit score over 100 points almost overnight? I know this sounds too good to be true, but check this out. If you stick around, I'll show you exactly how you can make this happen. So in this video, I'm going to reveal the most powerful strategies to improve your credit score fast. And again, if you follow this plan step by step, you'll most definitely see similar results. Let's get right into it. Number one is going to be paying down your credit cards, also known as your credit card utilization. Now, this is something that you can control and that you could do right away, okay? For those who don't know, credit card utilization is the second largest factor in what makes up your credit score, all right? So, and that's 30% of what factors into your credit score. Credit card utilization is balance divided by the limit, okay? So for example, if you have a credit card and it has a $1,000 limit, but it has a $300 balance, that means we take 300, we divide it by 1,000, and we get 30%. That's 30% utilization. Now, 30% is actually not bad. However, you really want to shoot for the sweet spot of about 7 to 10%, okay? And so to do this, the best way is going to look at bills you already have. What bills can you put on auto pay? And what bills can you change the payment method from your debit card to your credit card? Once you do this, this most definitely is going to play a major role. Now, if your credit card utilization is already at a certain point, you need to bring that down. Anything helps. Some people say, well, do I focus on the one with the highest interest? Do I focus on the one with the lowest balance? Whichever one is going to make you get the biggest win for you. Probably the most affordable option is going to be starting off whichever one has the lowest credit card balance, okay? But if you're like, hey, I got my hands on a little bit of extra cash, I don't want to see all of my money go just towards credit card interest, then you can go ahead and start off with paying off the ones that have higher interest. Number two is going to be becoming an authorized user on a credit card. Now, you got to be careful with this one because when you're added on to someone else's credit card as an authorized user, you want to make sure that two things are happening. Number one, that they've had flawless payment history, especially in the last 4 to 6 years, because that's going to show up on your credit report. Number two, you want to make sure that the balance is well under that 10% utilization at no more than about 30%. Otherwise, if it's higher than 30%, not only will you may not be able to see any type of increase in your credit score, but your score may actually drop. So you would rather have them either not using the card or using no more than 10% utilization, which you all just learned about utilization moments ago. Now, where things get risky is obviously if that person is late on the credit card, if their balance increases, or if that person closes the credit card out, if they file bankruptcy, if they pass away. All these types of things can most definitely happen. So do understand that risk. So what some people do is they do this with family or friends. That way a person is a phone call away, a text message away, a drive away. Versus some people like to pay for positions to be an authorized user, also known as a trade line, okay? And now if you do this, again, nothing wrong with it, but do understand the risk that someone is going to need your social security number, your first name, your last name at minimum, okay? If you're looking to increase your credit score, qualify for homeownership, or lower your monthly car payment, we can help you. We can take a look at your credit report and create a custom game plan for you to help you accomplish your credit goals. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video. They're going to need your social so it actually shows up on the credit report. They're going to need your first and last name, and sometimes certain credit card companies need your address. Most of the time, people won't use your address. They're going to use their address, the primary account holder's address, which means that other financial institutions will see your name associated with their address, and more than likely they're going to get mail with your name on it, but it's only going to go to their house. Number three is going to be requesting a credit limit increase. What I love about this one is that this is actually free to do, okay? So you can actually call any of your credit card companies and ask them for a credit limit increase. Now, you're not going to see your score improve unless you have credit card balances, okay? And what that does is that lowers your utilization because it creates more separation between the balance and the limit. Let's go back to the example I said earlier, where the balance is $300, the limit is $1,000, that's 30% utilization, right? Well, if you want to get lower utilization, or let's say that the balance was higher, you ask for that credit limit increase. Now, let's say, for example, they give you an additional $1,000. Now you have a $2,000 limit with a $300 balance. Now that's 300 divided by 2,000. And since that has a lower utilization, that's going to increase your credit score, okay? And this works out, again, this works out even better if your utilization is much higher, like over 50%, over 80% as well. Simply asking for a credit limit increase is golden. And here's the best part about asking for a credit limit increase. You can ask for one every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, depending on your financial institution that you have the credit card with. Number 4 is going to be disputing negative items, okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with disputing negative items on your credit report. Some things come off, some things don't. A lot of people won't say that. They'll make it seem like, oh, doesn't matter what it is, you can just make it go away. Here's the thing, I'm not saying that people haven't figured out ways to do that. Just know that it's not that common that it does come off. And even if it does, you need to set your expectations. Number 1, dispute does not mean delete, okay? Just because you dispute something doesn't mean it's going to get deleted. If you're disputing something, that means that you want it to be now accurate. And if they cannot make it accurate, then they must remove it. That's how the process goes. Number 2, if you dispute something, regardless if it gets removed or not, assuming you get it removed, that does not mean that you don't owe the money, okay? Now, whether you pay that or not, that's most definitely up to you, but do understand the risk and the reward, for that type of process. Number 5 is going to be paying down your credit card before the statement date, okay? Now, a lot of times people end up having a balance or whatever the case may be, but every single time that they look at their credit report, the actual report has a balance on there. Now, this is kind of weird, especially if you're used to having a lower balance or your balance is really 0, but you're not timing the payments right, and every time it shows up on your credit report, you end up having a balance, and in reality, you don't have a balance or it's much less. So make sure that you're paying it, right before that statement date. That way, before it reports to the credit reports, you now have either a lower balance or a 0 balance. You want to try to avoid a 0 balance if you can, but you at least want to have it where it's the lowest it can possibly be. That 7 to 10% range is going to be that sweet spot for sure. Real quick, be sure to download our free ebook today. All you got to do is scan this QR code right here or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Number 6 is going to be adding utility bills to your credit report. A lot of companies are starting to come out allowing you to do this. You can do this through Experian Boost. You could do this through certain credit monitoring platforms. We like to recommend Grow Credit. We actually got the link down in the description below as well too, if you want to learn more. But what's so great about it is that you're able to essentially have your subscription services and even your cell phone bill, okay? Yes, including your cell phone bill can be added to your credit report, and that payment history is going to be added to all 3 credit bureaus. Now, there is a small cost associated with this because they have to do some work on their end to verify that you are actually making these payments, and that's going to show you, and that's going to improve your credit score right away. And some people have seen results in about 21 days. And speaking of 21 days, that leads me to number 7, and that's going to be adding rental history to your credit report. Now, this has been out for years, but a lot of people don't know still that they can add rental history to their credit reports. Or worse, they added credit history, or I'll say worse, but they added rental history in the past. They've moved since then, but they completely forgot to set up the same exact strategy of adding that rental history to their credit reports. You don't want to forget that because, again, it's such an easy way to improve your credit score. Let me know in the comments section which one you like best and which one has worked for you in the past. But until then, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.